ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Jnani is free from raga, dvesha, all these things. At times, it may appear as though he has got, but the moment they appear to be there, they just fade, they disappear. Truly, he cannot have those. Again, a jnani is not interested in the siddhis, or what are called as occult powers, supernatural powers. All siddhis are in the realm of ajnana. And more siddhis you have got, more intense one's ahankara can be, more difficult to get rid of. So, jnani is jnani because his mind gets absorbed in the Atma Sarupa. Atmana Atmani Santripta. Contented in oneself by one antakarana, independent of everything. He doesn't run after the products of ajnana in terms of occult powers. This doesn't mean that the sadhanas or means that are found to gain siddhis or these occult powers are not effective. Certainly, they are effective. One who takes to those means is bound to gain those results. But this is not the cup of a jnani. That is being finally pointed out. Next verse, 29.
द्रव्यमन्त्रक्रियाकालयुक्तयः साधु सिद्धिदाः परमात्मपदप्राप्तौ नोपकुर्वन्ति काश्चन.
These things, dravya, materials required to take to such sadhanas means. Mantra, some chants. Mantra. Kriya, certain karmas. Kala, specific time, specific place where the sadhana has to be taken to. Yuktayaha, different types of upayas. Like this, many types of means are there to gain this occult power, siddhis. Sadhu siddhidaha. If properly taken to, they do yield the promised result. Their efficacy cannot be questioned. So therefore, they do yield the promised result if properly taken to. So to add there, kintu, but what? Paramatma padapraptau kashtana na upakurvanti. None of these powers are useful in gaining Paramatma Jnana, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Moksha, liberation. No upakarvanti. They do not help you, they cannot help you because that's the realm of ajnana only. Cannot help you. But this being the case, how is it ever possible for a person who is tripta, contented because of his Atma Swarupa jnana? How can such a person indulge in gaining these different types of siddhi jala? Certainly he cannot. That is now concluded. 30.
सर्वेच्छाकलनाशान्तौ आत्मलाभोदयाभिदः स पुनः सिद्धिवाञ्छायां कथम् अर्हत्यचित्ततः इति तृतीयोऽध्यायः.
Iti tritiyodhyayah. You can add yaha. Atma labhodayabhidah. Achittakah. Saha. Sarvecha kalana shantau. Katham siddhivanchayam. Siddhivanchayam. Katham, and here, of course, Saha Punaha is there. That Punaha is correct reading. In my book, it is Katham. Saha Punaha. Punaha. Siddhivanchayam. There is Katham, another Katham is there. Katham Arhati. Katham Arhati. A person who is like this. Yaha, whoever the person may be, who is like this. Who is he? Atma labhodaya abhidha. Abhidha means one who has got such name. Abhidhana, name. You know these two words? Abhidhana, Abhideya, often seen in Mandukya Bhasha. Abhidhana, name. Abhideya is the content of the name, the entity that is addressed by the name. So here Abhidha means one who is called, one who has got this name. Who is that? Atma labhodaya means one who has got Atma labha, in the sense one who has got Atma jnana, Brahma jnana, jnani. It refers to the name who has got Atma prapti, therefore jnani. Say, the person who is an Atma jnani, Brahma jnani, say, and therefore he is achittakaha. Achittakaha means one who has accomplished manonasha. Who has accomplished manonasha. Achittaka means not our colloquial way. क्या दिमाग नहीं है क्या? Not that. That is a person who is a totally aviveki. Is not able to think properly. We are not talking about that. Here, achittaka means that chitta itself has gone in the sense manonasha has taken place, and therefore, for practical purpose, his mind is so absorbed in the swarupa that the sankalpas in the sense of manovyapara, the usual mentations, the usual thinking of the mind in terms of drishya, jagat, Drishya prapancha, in terms of Vishayas, etc., is not there at all. Mind is tuned to, absorbed in Atma Swarupa. So in such a case, achittakaha, one has got manonasha, this manonasha, etc., is more described in Jivan Mukti Viveka by Vidyaranya Muni. Achittakaha, saha, such a person, punaha, after having such accomplishment. It's an ordinary accomplishment. Mind is absorbed the Paramananda Swarupa, no trace of sorrow, no trace of sorrow, no possibility of any trace of sorrow. At times you may be free from sorrow, but you can't deny the future possibilities. See, in Taittiriya there are two phrases. Na bibeti kadachana, na bibeti kutaschana. He is never afraid of anything at any times, but yet possibility may be there. Na bibeti kutaschana. There is no possibility of fear on account of anything whatsoever. Means the very cause of bhaya. Bhaya here is samsara, duality, ajnana itself is ended. So here also it is, say, Puna further, say when such a state is gained, saha, punaha, further, again, because in the state of ignorance, certainly he was after these things. Did not be siddhi, but prosperity and such gains, etc., heavens, etc., including siddhi. Now again, after gaining knowledge, katham, siddhi vanchayam, arhati, katham arhati. How can he take to desire to gain the siddhis, kaku prayoga? Certainly he cannot. When you have a very sumptuous dinner, you are not interested in your daily food, at least for the time being. Now here is the case. Paramananda Apti, which can never be ended, never can go, no rebirth. Where is the question of running after the siddhi? Certainly not possible. With this, the third chapter is over. The scene changes now. What is the scene? Earlier 3 chapters were teaching of Bhagavan Varaha to Rup. Now, this teaching is different. Teaching of Rubu to his disciple Nidaga. This Rubu Nidaga, this dialogues are available many places. Some of you have attended Rubu Gita, a short summary teaching, and Rubu Gita is from Shiva Rahasya, 6th Ansha. Of course, there is more declaration of experience of the Jnani than actual teaching. Because there also student was who? Nidaga. Here also Nidaga. This Nidaga word has got an interesting derivation. One who is Nirdagda Agha. The one who has Agha. Agha means what? Sin. Anagha, sinless. You have heard this word. Anagha, sinless. Aganashana, Paramatma, one who destroys the sin. Deva Deva Aganashana, Devanam Deva, the final Parameshwara, not ordinary deities, presiding deities. Aganashana, destroy the sin, finally the Ajnana Agha. So here, by intense brahmacharya and tapas, who had destroyed the aga papa. Many stories are available about this Rubu and Nidaga Guru Shishya Sambandha. Nidaga was a staunch karmakandi, highly disciplined, living life of dharma in toto. But he had too much of Shraddha in the karma to the extent that karma alone or karma only can give liberation. Many times, Rubu, having found this a very competent student, but some wrong notion is there, he tried to convince him karmas are certainly necessary, but they themselves being the product of ignorance, karmas or upasanas are incapable of giving moksha, incapable of making you know what your real nature is. He was agreeing, but still sticking to his own method. So it is an interesting story there. Repeatedly in between, Rubu used to come and teach him, but it didn't work. Once Rubu came in search of Nidaga as an old peasant, and he found that Nidaga is there on the road and watching a royal procession. Just casually, not that he had much interest in that man. He happened to be there, and he was there. So this person, old man, came. Sir, what are you looking at? Nidaga said, can't you see that royal procession? Royal procession. What is that? The king is riding on the elephant and going. What? King is riding on the elephant. King on the elephant. What do you mean by that? The peasant. He said, this is an idiot, but he thought that, let me explain it. The elephant is below and king is above. Acha. What you use these two words, below and above. What do you mean by below and above? Nidaga got so irritated. He said, let me teach this idiot a lesson. Come here. He made him bend and sat over his back. Now you understand? You are below, I am above. Yes. Now I understood. What is below and what is above. But sir, you use two words. I am below. What is that I? And you are above. What is that you? Movement. Rubu asked these questions. I and you, what are they? Nidaga understood. This guy is none other than Rubu. He fell at his feet. Because I and you, who can inquire into Vedanti only? So therefore, there are many interesting stories are there about this. Anyway, now here starts at different places, maybe different times, etc. So different types of teachings are available. Whereas in these teachings, some teaching aspect is there. Whereas in the Rubu Gita, just blunt declaration of one's experience. No much teaching at all. Like Ashtavakra Gita. At least in Ashtavakra Gita, some teaching is there, but it is more a description of a Atmanubhava, Brahmanubhava of a Jnani. From the standpoint where Atma, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone is there, to the total absence of cognition of any Drishya Prapancha. So now here start the 4th chapter of Varaha Upanishad. So now the topic now is the 4 stages of Jivan Mukti in the 7 stages of Jnana. Sapta Jnana Bhumika. There are 7 stages of Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, out of which the first 3 are in the realm of Ajnana only. 4, 5, 6, 7 fall under category of Jivan Mukta. Some slight variation is found here and there, etc. In some 4th stage is clubbed in the Jivan Mukti. In some cases, 4th case is a state of Jnana, but not Jivan Mukti. Only 5, 6, 7 are taken as Jivan Mukti. In some, 4th also is taken as Jivan Mukti. Here, 4th is taken as the Jivan Mukti. So therefore, in some Upanishad, this is not only this one, many Upanishads, these Sapta Bhumikas are. In some Upanishad, Sapta Ajnana Bhumikas are there. 7 stages of ignorance. That also is there. Now here comes the 7 stages of knowledge. Those of you who had attended my classes or teaching on selected verses from Yoga Vasishtha, as you know, I had taught about 4,200 selected cryptic verses from Yoga Vasishtha. In that, at least at 2-3 places, you have come across the description of Sapta Jnana Bhumika, 7 stages of knowledge. So now here, at places all are not described, only 3 are described, now 4 are described, 7 are described. Let us see now what they are. So this topic is now the 4 categories of Jivan Mukti in the 7 Jnana Bhumika. The teaching is by Rubhu to Nidaga. Once Nidaga asks a question to Rubhu. With that question, the answer starts. Read Athaha.
Athaha Rubhum Bhagavantam Nidagaha Papracha Jivan Mukti Lakshanam Anubruhi Iti.
Atha. Now, you can take Atha thereafter, then, etc. in many ways. Or when Nidaga was ready with the Sadhachita Sampatti, or he had ready frame of mind to gain the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, or something has happened earlier, thereafter. Is Prasiddhi. It is so found in the Upanishad, well known. The famous dialogue between, or famous teaching of Rubhu to Nidaga. Rubhu to Nidaga. So Bhagavanta, Rubhum Bhagavanta. Bhagavan Rubhu. Of course, generally we are familiar with the word Bhagavan for Parameshwara. But this word is applied to Guru or Father also, Bhagavantam, relatively. So Bhagavantam Nidagam. Guru is okay of the stature of Guru because why? He is identified with Parameshwara Swarupa. He is no more a Jiva now. He is Paramatma Swarupa. Well, because of Prarabdha, Upadhitaha, in terms of Upadhi, seeming difference is there, but reality-wise, Tattvataha, says he is Parameshwara Swarupa, Bhagavan. Bhagavantam Prabhum Nidagaha Papracha. Nidaga asked this question. Bhagavan Jivan Mukti Lakshanam Anubruhi. Sir, Anubruhi, not simply Bruhi. What? Teach me the characteristic features of Jivan Mukti as told in the Shastras, not conjecture of anyone. So therefore, Adhihi. Sir, generally is asked that a Shishya, please recall to yourself what you are taught about Brahma Swarupa. Because Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa cannot be established by Tarka, reasoning. In the Brihadaranyaka, there is a great debate wherein Gargi, highly knowledgeable person, just to defeat Yajnavalkya, started asking a question about that Akshara Brahma based on the reasoning. She had a catch there. If Yajnavalkya replies, he is foul. Why he is foul? He told something which cannot be the realm of reasoning on the basis of reasoning. And because of reason, he doesn't answer, because he doesn't know the answer. He has failed. That Yajnavalkya knew this trick. He went on answering up to a certain point. Gargi asked further, Gargi, be cautious. Don't indulge in the matters of Brahma Akshara, which is beyond the realm of Tarka, by Tarka. If you don't listen to me, I have the capacity to give a curse and your head will be off the trunk. Gargi knew it. She kept quiet. She kept quiet. That was it. Shruti does take help of Yukti, reasoning, but it is not establishing Atma, Brahma based on the. And other way also, where the subtopic of reasoning, you need not bring unnecessary Shruti also. So there are certain, these are accepted norms. So here, Anubruhi, Bhagavan. So how you were taught by your teacher, Guru, please talk. This shows Guru Shishya Sampradaya, teacher taught lineage. This is not the conjecture of any human intellect. Whether it starts from Sadashiva Samarambham or Narayanam Padma Bhuvam, it comes from Parameshwara in terms of successive disciples. At every link of Guru Shishya Sampradaya, it has been verified. The truth has been verified. That is the greatness. No doubt, we have to begin with Shraddha. But that Shraddha, that Vishwasa, that belief is pending verification. As Bhashyakara Shankaracharya in Vivek Vedanta says, Shraddha is defined. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana. What is taught by Shastra, accordingly, what is taught by Guru, Satyam, it is true. Such a avadharana, such a firm determination. And what the Shishya does, he equips himself in terms of eligibility as told by Shastra and discovers or verifies the truth. Thereafter, it is no more discovery of the Shastra, no more the teaching of the Guru. It is my aparoksha anubhava. It is my personal verification. No one can shake it. This is the final end. Till then, consistent, continuous efforts are indispensable. So that is Anubruhi. Please teach me as you have heard from your gurus. Rubu agrees. Continue.
तथा इति स होवाच सप्तभूमिषु.
So you know, you are familiar with this, no? Tathastu, Tathastu. See, at the end of the puja, so many Ashirvachanas are told. Iti mahantaha anugrihnanto, iti mahantaha anugrihnanto. All you great people, please what? Grant this. Others say, Tathastu, Tathastu, let it be so, let it be so. So therefore, Tatha, yes, let it be. What you have said, I am certainly going to teach you. Saha, he. With that he, Ruvu, Uvacha, said, means started teaching. What he started teaching? He continued.
सप्तभूमिषु जीवन्मुक्ताः चत्वारः.
Says, in the Sapta Bhumishu, in the 7 stages of Jnana. Now you have to say Sapta Bhumishu means what? Sapta Jnana Bhumishu. One word is elided there. What is called as Madhyama Pada Lopa Samasa. A compound wherein the middle word is elided. We find this generally in the grammar books that are given. Shaka Parthivaha. Shaka means vegetable. Parthiva means king. Actually, it means Shaka Priya Parthivaha. A king who is very fond of vegetables, salads, etc. In modern world, somebody gave. Coffee Srinivasa. Coffee Priya Srinivasa. Mr. Srinivasa, who is very fond of coffees. Sapat Ramaha, Tamil. Sapat Priya Ramaha. Mr. Rama, not Bhagavan Rama, okay. Mr. Rama, who is very fond of sapata, means eating food. Food. That way, here, Sapta Bhumishu. Sapta Jnana Bhumishu. In 7 stages of knowledge. Which knowledge here? Atma Jnana. Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta, those people, because of prarabdha, still wearing the body and interact with the world. They are alive. At the same time, they are liberated. Here, such Jivan Mukta, Chatvarana, not 4, of 4 varieties. They are of 4 categories. 4 categories. What will be your next question? What are the 7 bhumikas? What are the 7 jnana bhumikas? Jnana bhumikas. So Bhrigu, not Bhrigu, Rubu does expect such question, and he himself elaborates or enumerates. To be more precise, he enumerates only the 7 jnana bhumikas, out of which, except the first 3, the rest 4 are the category of Jivan Mukta or Jivan Mukti. What is the first one? Let us see.
Shubhecha Prathama Bhumika Bhavati.
Shubhecha Prathama Bhumika Bhavati. Prathama Jnana Bhumika. The first stage of Atma Jnana is what? Shubhecha. Icha, desire. Shubha, a noble desire. How many types of desires are there? Or how many desires are there? Innumerable. In that, ignoble, ignoble. Both types. The one in accordance with the Dharma Shastra, accepted by Dharma, desires. Others prohibited by Dharma because they, in such desire, a person indulges in adharma, which is harmful. Which is harmful. Harmful in what sense? Conducive in what sense? Why Vedas speak of dharma, dharma? What is the final vision that keeps Vedas keeps in mind in recommending this is dharma, what is dharma, adharma? You know this. Whatever Vedas or Shastra ask us to do or not to do is keeping only one goal in front of it. What is that? Whatever that is helpful directly or indirectly to gain Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, and thereby moksha, recommended. On the contrary, whatever that is harmful or against gaining such preparedness of the mind, which is not conducive directly or indirectly to gain Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, and thereby liberation, are prohibited. Vidhi, Nishedha. Even Vidhi, certain things up to certain point, not beyond that. Nishedha, by all means, it should be prohibited. You should know the role of Vedas. Why Vedas have to come and tell us? Because these topics are Atindriya, Apaurusheya, beyond the grasp of human intellect, not perceptibly available like other means. Vedas, which are called Apaurusheya, the subject matter of the Vedas, which is beyond the human concept. Therefore, Vedas have to come and tell us. That is why we should have Shraddha in the Vedas. One may say, I don't have Shraddha. You may not have. Who cares for them? No. These people who believe that they are blind believers, they are not blind believers. There are many things in the Veda which cannot be verified right now. Because hereafter it is there. But there are other things which can be verified right now here. So those who have Shraddha, if these can be true, others also must be true. For example, astronomy, eclipses, etc. See how Vedas calculate to the minutest microsecond without the scientific gadgets of today. If that can be true, other things also must be. At least we have got some basis. Those who deny the status of Veda, the means of knowledge, pramana, have no basis except their own way of thinking. Another thing, look, we are not obliging Vedas by accepting them. We are humans. Vedas are the rules given for us for our upliftment and betterment. If we violate, we'll be punished. Like the laws of the country. You can't say, I'm a peasant, I don't know the laws, etc. I don't accept them. No court of law will accept this. Are you a citizen? Whether you are literate or illiterate, you have to abide by the laws. So therefore, it is in our interest to know the laws, abide by them, and safeguard our interest. Same norm applies to Vedas. These are things we can't know. We can't feel anything. So therefore, we have to get guided by Vedas. That's why Bhagavan Krishna exhorts, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavasthita. Krishna, Arjuna, what is to be done, what is not to be done, please get guided by Shastra. Shastras may be of varieties, of various types, but basis is there in Vedas. Vedas direct Shastra. Smriti is indirect because they are based on Shruti Vedas. So therefore you say, now here, the first Bhumika, Shubhecha, a desire, approved by Shastra. A noble desire. What is it? Here it is not told. We have to take from elsewhere, etc. He says, look, what an idiot I am. I'm so much engrossed in this Vishaya Bhoga, etc. Let me at least take to what? Inquiry and find out. Do these Vishaya Bhogas are capable of making me contented in life? Or is there a higher purpose of life? Many are doing that. I'm not doing that. No, no, no. Hereafter, I should not do that. I should inquire into the purpose of life, the final goal of life, in accordance with the Shastra. Earlier, he was impervious of that. Khao piyo, maja karo. That's all. No, no. Because some viveka, some discrimination has dawned in the mind. In spite of best of the bhogas, we cannot be really contented. You know, the so-called best of the bhogas are what? By the time we think that we get it, they just disappear. In spite of all that, one thing is certain. What is it? Old age and death. See what is going around. Who can be happy in the old age? Who can have the courage to face the death? So painful. Olden days they used to see. Nowadays they are shunted where? ICU with a ventilator. Nobody is allowed there. But what an agonizing this condition. So therefore, but at the same time, there are people who, in spite of that, are not unaffected. There was something in them. What is that? Let me find out. Therefore, I say, Shubhecha Prathama Bhumika Bhavati. Means let me inquire into all this with the help of Shastra, with the help of teacher also, Acharya also. So determined now. So therefore, what is it? He is now takes to Shravana and Manana. The second stage.
Vicharana Dvitiya.
So Vicharana Dvitiya Jnana Bhumika Bhavati. Like that you have to take. Vicharana, inquiry. Taking inquiry, Atma Vichara, what is called as Shravana. And thereafter was reflection, Manana. This is what Dvitiya Jnana Bhumika Bhavati. This is the second Jnana Bhumika. Now he, having exposed this, he finds, yes, what is told by the Shastra is correct. What fool I was, till now I didn't know at all. So therefore, his value structure changes for good. So therefore, we say he changes, and then what happens? Till now, he was so much engrossed in Vishaya Bhoga. Now, thodi akkal aati hai. Some common sense starts prevailing. He doesn't take the things for granted. The analysis, the inquiry conducted by Shastra appeals to him. They are pointing out at my good only. They are not interested in depriving me of the whatever little sense enjoyment I have got. But they point out, look, this sense pleasure you are indulging in at an enormous cost. What enormous cost? You are indulging in the Vishaya Bhogas at the enormous cost of depriving you your Paramananda Swarup. Cash tender to get some purchase something. What is that cost? Paramananda Swarupa given. What purchase in turn? Tinsels of Vishaya Bhogas. Have some sense of commerce, okay? Will you at any time pay the price more than the commodity deserves? Are you wise or a fool to do so? All these things slowly dawn in his mind now. And therefore, now the third stage of Jnana Bhumika, 7 Jnana Bhumikas, it is
Tanumanasi Tritiya.
Tritiya Jnana Bhumika. Tanu Manasi. Tanu means no sharpening, making thin. Tanu Manasi means the asakti, the priti, love, fascination for Vishayas, sense objects, sense pleasures goes on getting reduced. In the wake of Viveka, in the wake of discrimination, not because Shastra has said, not because Acharya says. Of course, they do say, but he has discovered it now. At least to that extent. What they said is true. They are not telling just like that. There's a basis. It has got a reason. So that is Tanumanasi. So that is, he has got now Sadhana Chatushtaya. You know Sadhana Chatushtaya. And thereby, so slowly, the love, fascination for Vishaya, sense pleasure, goes on decreasing. Next one is continuing.
Satvapattihi Turiya.
Turiya. Turiya means Chaturtha. Chaturtha Jnana Bhumika. The fourth stage of Jnana is called Sattvapatti. Just for information, these names differ at different places slightly. Though what they aim at is one and the same, but their names may differ at places, not everywhere, etc. At times, at places, in some Upanishad. Sattvapattihi. That stage, sthiti, state of mind up to Sakshatkara Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Already taken to Shravana Mana, he progresses on Nididhyasana, wherein Anatma Pratyaya Pravaha is eliminated. Sajatiya Atma Vishaya Pratyaya Pravaha is introduced. So the mind is no more dwelling on, thinking of anatmas. All the time it is focusing on Atma Swarupa. In between, interruptions of anatma pratyas are bound to be there in the beginning. But by repeated effort, That means such interruptions and obstructions become less and less, and he is able to make the mind absorb more and more in the Swarupa. It leads up to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and thereby Atma Sakshatkara, Brahma Sakshatkara. We have seen what is Atma Sakshatkara, Brahma Sakshatkara. That is Turiya. Fifth one is, read.
Asavsaktihi panchami.
Fifth Jnana Bhuvika is Asamsaktihi. No more asakti in anything. Avidya is totally gone. Further, he has got Jnana Nishtha compared to fourth one, earlier one. His mind gets more absorbed in the Swarupa than in the state of fourth Bhumika. So that is called Asamsakti. No Samsakti, no Asakti, no love, no attachment for any of the Vishayas or Prapancha. Sixth one.
Padartha bhavana shashti.
Corrected. Padartha bhavana. Akara must be there. Padartha bhavana. Padarthana abhavana. Bhavana chintana. Abhavana, absence of chintana, absence of thinking of padartha vishayas. Means he is so atmaramaha. The mind is so absorbed in the Atma Sarupa, he has no cognition of drishya vishayas. So he is so absorbed in the Atma Sarupa that he is not cognition in the drishya vishayas. Such person needs to be brought back to the awareness of the body for food, etc. On one's own, he doesn't become aware of the body, etc. Well, the Panchami, person who is absorbed in the Atma Sarupa, comes out of it, becomes aware of the body, etc. on one's own, prarabdha soul. But here, that absorption of the mind in Atma Sarupa is much more intense. As a result, others have to put forth some effort to bring him back to the bodily consciousness. That is what Padartha Bhavana. And the seventh one is, read.
Turiyaga saptami.
Saptami Jnana Bhumika. The seventh Jnana Bhumika, stage of Jnana is Turiyaga. Turiyaga means which has got the name of fourth, in the sense, first three eliminate, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh happens to be the fourth among Jivan Mukti. Fourth stage among the Jivan Mukti. So Turiyaga, one has got the status of being the fourth stage. Turiyaga, this is what Saptami 7. Here, the person is so absorbed in the Swarupa, even others' effort don't work, he cannot be brought back. You can't, okay? In this case, it continues until the body drops. That's the last stage. So these are the 7 stages of Jnana Bhumika. More about this, Rubu is going to describe in the further portion. Om.
Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahi Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Shobharahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti